Hey, curious, hi. Sorry about that. I was really into something and then I happened to take a look at the clock and I saw the time and I panicked. I hope you can hear me. I hope everything's working out fine. Sorry, I had to kind of rush. I'm still missing a couple of things, so I'll be right back. What a panic. So relatable, no worries. I'm really sorry. Got way too focused on something. All right. I can hear you. Please don't worry about it. The research lead. Seriously. I was really like lost in it and whew, I'm glad I saw the clock. Alright, so I didn't know exactly what to use to swatch. I think I'll perhaps try with these. They're meant to be postcards, but I need the paper, so let's just use it as paper. And 20 sheets, I should have enough for the colors that I want to swatch today, which are these colors. So basically what it is a local shop. Sorry, I panic so much. I'm out of breath from just existing. But okay, sorry. Local shop. I noticed that they finally had some of the Granulating WhiteNights colors. I know that WhiteNights is, you know, a bit of a complex issue because they're a Russian brand. But also at the same time, I bought them from a local small shop. So, like, one good, one bad. You let me know if they cancel each other, but I'm really sleepy today, so I'm here, but might be even weirder than usual. Aw. So yeah, I have one that is a gold color. So this one is Aztec gold, and I think all the other ones are part of the granulating colors, not the metamorphose ones, just the granulating mixes that they released prior to that. That's basically what I have with me today. A big juicy brush. Okay, let's get to it. In no specific order, so I'll grab this one first. This is supposed to be Violet Mist. So okay, I didn't almost flatten myself on the table. It's good. So Violet Mist, it is a mix of 3 pigments, ultramarine blue, PG17. I think that's I think a chromium oxide green kind of color, and then PR 187, which I, off the top of my head like that, I don't know what it is, but it is red. What kind of paper do you use for swatching? Literally whatever I have on hand. I try to swatch on cotton paper, but I'm not limited to it. I think the one sort of thing that I try to do when it comes to swatching is to have enough paper for all the colors so that I can compare them on the same kind of basis, if that makes sense. So I didn't find anything that was working out particularly, except for this bundle of postcards that I had around from Baohong. Ooh. Ooh, that's nice. That's spread out really nicely. So it's a paper with a significant texture on it, so that's going to be interesting to swatch on with those super granulating colors. I feel like this one is perhaps a bit like a shadow violet or Ooh, I love PG17 and mixes. Yeah, me too. There's a lot of colors that I find a bit difficult on their own. Like ultramarine blue, I'm still on the fence, but I really like the texture it can have. So whenever it's in mixes like here, I think that's a really good usage for it. Really cool. I like it. So when I chose some of the colors, not all of them, and I was trying to go for the ones that were not just a mix of like PBK 11, which is a super granulating black pigment, and then another color, because while these are fun, they're not they're not that hard to sort of mix on your own. I was looking more into the colors that were a bit more special, and I really like this one so far. So what I'm saying is that you can see sort of in the way it separates that there's a bit of a reddish color that comes through quite nicely. It's a bit difficult to see the green in this mix, but you definitely see the separation of like the blue and the red. That's a really nice one. That's gonna be a bit difficult to dry flat, but really nice so far. I hope you can see. Really, really cool. I'm gonna run into the problem of not having enough space for drying, but I will figure it out. Okay, next one. It's fun. I mean, I feel like it's fun. I'm having fun. Hopefully you guys will have fun too. This one is Grey Rose Mist. So what pigments are in here? It's the same as the previous color, huh? I think. Is that it? Yeah, exactly the same stuff. PB29, PG17, and PR187. So that's going to be interesting to see how they change the ratio of each pigment to make it... Oh, I need to label these. Fudge. Okay. Sharpie. Definitely fun. Kind of one of those paints that almost create... Yeah, exactly. And I was... Oh, there's a big ass number printed on it. This one too. Okay, cool. Okay, so I might label them later because I'm not in the mood for it right now. Sorry. Just... Some days are like that. But yeah, I really like paints that create their sort of own magic on the paper, and you can kind of only get that through watercolor. Like I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, okay, so acrylic, not really. Oil, not really either. As far as I know, oil doesn't really move on the canvas. But watercolor being like a paint that you can dilute with water and that is basically suspended in water, so that all the weight of the different particles just make stuff happen, you know? I'm trying to think if there's another type of paint that you can paint sort of juicy with, if you know what I mean, and I don't really know. This is so strikingly different to the previous color, even if it uses the same pigments. I think that's really cool. Oh yeah, that one I had pre-wet and then I put some color in. That's what I did. I'll do it for this. They have a really nice mobility in water, these paints. It's not, what did they say? It doesn't zoom across the page really, but they're not flat dead either. Yes, that's a big part of what I love about watercolor. It's more dynamic. Yeah, it kind of has a mind of its own if you think about it, really. I feel like it's the paint that even the most masterful of painters will still get happy accidents on the paper every once in a while, like the Bob Ross kind of happy accident, if you know what I mean. Like, no matter how good you are at handling the paint, it will still surprise you and do things that you had not planned for, and then that you have to sort of deal with. I don't think there's a way to fully control watercolor, really. Even like the botanical painters that are so precise and so like realistic in their approach, I'm pretty sure there's stuff that they had to cover up or like try to lift and then start over again. And we don't really see it because we don't look into it that closely, but yep, totally agree. It's the cat of paints. Oh, that would explain a lot. Seriously. I guess alcohol inks maybe. Can you really use those for painting? I'm not down with the smell anyway, but they also have... Yeah, they do, but oftentimes alcohol inks are made with dyes instead of pigments, so they're not very light fast. Which is why, like, Copic markers are not very light fast because they're alcohol markers. So yeah, I think you can have really fun effects, especially if you use a surface like Yupo, the plastic surface, with the alcohol inks, because the way they still dry because the alcohol evaporates, but since you put it on plastic, it does things, you know, by itself in a way. But yeah, I don't think it would be for me either. Maybe it's my grunge spirit, but I really like the grittiness of texture in watercolor, like the way it's unavoidable, really. Whether it's a granulating paint or just a mistake applying it. Did I just put this in? How did I get that purple on my tissue? Oh well. Mystery purple. Okay. Okay. So that was Grey Rose Mist. And I think we can... Sorry, I forgot to do the bit of a assessment, but I think it's a very apt name for it. You can definitely see some parts that are more rose, so pink. And the overall tone of the color is definitely gray. Oh, it's really cool. Really like it. This paint reminds me of the skin of a marine mammal. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Like you have that rosiness of the fact that it's a blooded creature, but also like the texture and the color of the skin, so that they possibly blend in a bit better. Okay, so this one is Hematite Mist. Yeah, interesting. This one is again ultramarine blue, and then a synthetic iron oxide, so a PR 101 pigment. Man, it had been a while since I've had any pans that are this easy to, like, this easy to unwrap. They're really, really smooth. Again, the big number on the side, just nice. Okay, sure. Someone commented to the effect that they write the abbreviation for WhiteNights as WHNI, and I was like, oh, that's clever, because of Winsor and Newton. It can be a bit confusing. Not everyone puts the "and" when they talk about Winsor and Newton, so you still have WN. But I thought that this was clever, and also Magello Mission Gold and M. Graham can also be a bit confusing, so I think that's clever. I've never had any WhiteNights. How does the quality compare to Roman Schmal? These are a bit softer. Have you tried Rosa watercolors? Because they would be quite similar to Rosa. They're softer. They're less expensive than Roman Schmal. Mostly the main issue, quote unquote, with WhiteNights is that it's a Russian company. If they came from any other country, I don't think they would have any issue whatsoever. But being a Russian brand, they necessarily end up in the politics of things a bit. That's really cool. It's kind of more purple than I expected, in a way. because I felt like this mix of the ultramarine blue and the PR 101, like we've seen that pigment 101 or pigment red 101 or 102 depending, it can be quite orange, and ultramarine blue is almost always the same hue, and it kind of neutralizes with oranges. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna get kind of a gray color, or I don't know. And it's definitely more red or purple than I imagine it would be, which I think is quite cool. These paints, I don't know if you've tried, but the White Night paints, they can be a bit reminiscent of if you pour some sennelier in pans from a tube. They're quite soft depending on the pigment, and they wet really easily also depending on the pigment. But yeah, they I think they only come in full pans or tubes. Yeah, Russian company is tricky, and it stinks to feel like you have to penalize the people of a country when it's often just the elite leaders doing the objectionable things. Yeah, the thing is, it's a much more complex issue, and I don't feel I know enough to be able to fully assess what's up. Ultimately, they're quote unquote just a paint company. Like I don't really know what kind of endorsement of the war they could do or have done or whatnot. I don't know. So it's a bit difficult. Like, let's say a company sells arms and weapons. You know what's up, but a paint company, I really don't know. And for a while, it was almost impossible to find this brand anywhere because every seller dropped it because of the ties to Russia. And like they're a bit stuck between a rock and a hard place over there because it's not like they can go fully out loud and rage against their government. You know, there could be repercussions, and I also understand that. So like I wouldn't buy WhiteNights from Amazon, you know. But this is a lady that's a local seller to me, and I made a video on her handmade paints, and she seems to be really nice. She is Russian, I think, and she's been living here for a while. And yeah, like I feel like that's a way to also support her, which I'm more okay with, if that makes any sense. I mean, people can disagree with me. That's also fine, but that's my thought process. This is also really, really nice. Hope you can see. We definitely here see the separation between the red pigment and the ultramarine blue, but it gives us this very moody, a bit like a bruise purple kind of color. It's lovely. Me either, absolutely not. And again, it's such a I don't feel like a a very black and white boycott is not often the best option. Like it really depends, and I feel like for Russia and Ukraine, it's a bit tricky. And, And like Amazon, it's even more clear. So if something that I'm a bit unsure about is sold on Amazon, I will not get it. Exactly. I see hinges of that. They're not speaking out here these days, so I can start to imagine just a little bit what that might be like. Okay, when it first went down, I was thinking Indian red or Caput Mortem vibe. Yeah, it really does, right? It's gonna be super interesting to see the colors as they dry. But so far, I mean, they're really nice. And yeah, I mean, speaking out, like you're better off just saying nothing in a lot of cases. Not because, like, there's a difference between uh, standing behind one's convictions and running after trouble too. I can totally see um, the wisdom in being very choosy about when to talk or when to shut up. I'm glad I'm in Canada and it's sort of slightly more chill. Slightly. It's quite more chill, but oof. You can't be another country's hat and not see some of what goes on there over here too, you know. This one is Sunset Mist. This one I was really excited to try because it looked like this purpley orange color. And it's one of those colors that I was really attracted to from the get-go because it was so colorful. There's no black pigment in here, and as they kind of separate, like the ultramarine blue separates, and then the orange pigment is the one that is kind of a orange in the mass tone, but gets a bit more pink when you dilute it. So the combination of those two elements, I'm really curious to see what it does on paper. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, that's really cool. And already see like the colors doing their color thing on there. I was watching a video this week that was super interesting and kind of very sad too. It was about people in, I think it was Texas, who live really right next to a crypto mining farm. So it's basically a big center full of computers that quote unquote mine cryptocurrencies. And it's crap. It's disgusting, but oh my gosh, living next to one. It's just it floored me because I couldn't fathom that any company would have the nerve to just decide that they would settle somewhere and just mess everything up and not take any really responsibility for messing stuff up for the people who were living there already. Like, there's so much noise pollution, light pollution. It's so unsightly. It's unbelievably ugly. And it's mostly a little town of older people, like retired people. And it completely like messed up their life. And it's not like they can move or do anything about it. Like, it's first of all, their current property is basically worthless because of it. It's not like they can just up and sell and move. And then it, like, everything that they would enjoy, like, oh, it's a quiet little place with a lot of wildlife. Well, all the wildlife is gone now because of the noise and the light and everything. Like, it's disruptive, and most animals, they have such better hearing and eyesight than we do. And if it's annoying for us, I don't want to know what it is for them. So this color is just amazing, I feel like. It is so cool the way it separates, and you get so many like different colors in the mix. That is just these two pigments. It's really, really cool. I can kind of see why you would link this color to a sunset. Kind of makes sense. But yeah, oh my gosh, that video about the people living next to the crypto farm. And it messes up everything. Jill, hello. You're seeing me swatch out the some of the WhiteNights granulating colors. The context of these is that a little shop that is local to me got these. They were carrying these finally, and I've been wanting to try them for a bit. And I'm fully aware of the fact that WhiteNights is a Russian company. But yeah, I saw these, and it's a local shop, and I was like, oh, I really want to try them. So here we are. I will take back the ones that I've already swatched, and I will show them a bit later if you want. But for now, I'm just going to continue with things because the other sheets are drying. That's so sad. I saw a thing that was about an airport. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing, but like I would venture that there are moments that the airport doesn't see traffic like endlessly. There's got to be like little breaks or something, because it's not like a queue of planes just landing one after the other. Hope. Really hope. But yeah, oh my gosh, I cannot to install that stuff right next to where people live, and to mess up their power grid, mess up their water supply, and to be able to sleep at night. Like, oh, this one is interesting. So this one is PB28, so that's usually a cobalt blue or teal. And then PR264, a red pigment. I was also explaining that I'm not labeling these at the moment because WhiteNights has printed a big label, like a big number on the side of the pans. And in conjunction with the wrappers, I can easily, quote unquote, come back later and label everything. Oh, this one is really stuck. Guess I'll be painting from the wrapper. Ev, not labeling currently. Nope. If they hadn't written anything on the pans, I would have had to label them at least with something. But since they upgraded to numbers on the pans, I mean, I don't like labeling. I do it because it's silly not to do it. Then you have a bunch of pans that you have no idea what they are, but I can skip it. I'm not in the mood today for writing stuff. I think it's because I've been labeling swatch sheets for a video, so my brain is like, nope. Never mind that. You label the papers and that's it. How's your day, Jill? I've offered a disclaimer that I'm really sleepy today and extra weird. Oh my god, don't help. Heart freezes in panic. Oh no! Until late this afternoon. Ooh! What are you doing with your lovely downtime? Once I saw the number, I calmed down, but for a moment there, I was all like, no, it's a trap to believe you're. Oh, I know it's a trap. I know I can't remember. But yeah, when I saw the big numbers, that was also a moment of relief for me because I was like, oh, thank God, I don't have to start, labeling everything. I will. Bit later. Ugh. The surface of this one is a bit triggering for that the trypophobia thing. Ugh. I'll have to I'll squish it a bit better when it's not sticky and wet. So I would have thought that this color would be a bit more strong in value in the mass tone, but it's kind of sort of a mid-level value, or like 75% there, compared to other colors that I've swatched so far that have been like more dark. Like this is quite dark in value, while this is, mid. Beautiful though, and we can kind of start seeing the separation. It's interesting that they went for a red instead of magenta in this mix. It makes it a bit more muted and a bit more, I mean, as natural as it can be. But it's beautiful. Really, really nice. Challenge is to not make a mess. Not sure if I'll succeed, but I love cobalt blues and greens, but this one is oddly homogeneous compared to the others. It's gonna separate as it settles. I think it looks homogeneous because of the way the colors don't become very dark. So you don't have this stark contrast of the white paper and the dark paint. But as it dries, I think we're gonna see something really fun happen. I've been building a Lego set. Currently, I'm having some refried black beans. Ooh, sounds yummy. Which buildo set? Which buildo set are you legging? Sorry. Which Lego set are you building? That's what I meant to say. Before I tripped in my brain. This one is Sea Mist. And what is it? What is it? Oh, okay. It's PG 50. Well, what? PG 50 and phthalo blue. I think it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be really like vibrant. Perhaps a bit like that atoll blue from Schminke. The Fairground Mixer. It's an older set my husband found for me. Oh, that's lovely. Oh man, I'm having well, I mean, it's not fear of missing out. It's sadness at having missed out. So I don't know what it is, but oh man, I didn't get the A-frame Lego kit when it was like available, and now it's they stopped making it, and it's so expensive, and I'm having regrets that I didn't get it. Supposedly, it will all fold up onto the trailer just like the real fairground. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. I saw a kit, like one of the newer ones, that is meant to be inserted in a library between books, and it's Sherlock Holmes themed, and it looks really, really cool, I think. And I was eyeing that, and I was like, oh, that's lovely. So made me think of that because of the way everything folds up into like the width of a really thick book, but then you can open it up and you have like Victorian London streets and stuff happening, and it looks really cool. Even though I'm not I kind of feel like the set itself is really fun. The minifigs they included in it to represent Sherlock and Watson and Moriarty and all of that is a bit cliche, cartoony. You know, like, oh, Watson is dumb, and Sherlock has the what's I think it's a deer hunting cap, and the big pipe and all that, which is a bit of a liberty that was taken with the adaptations and not necessarily part of the actual stories. Do you know about Bricklink, Ev? It's an online store with people. Yeah, I saw it, but for the life of me, I cannot get it to link my like whenever I try to make an account on Bricklink, it wants to merge with my Lego account, and then it has an error and it just doesn't do the thing, and I need to check if they've solved it, but I've tried with different browsers, I've tried all sorts of things, and I keep getting the same error that it doesn't want to merge my accounts, so I sort of cannot have a Bricklink account, which is a pain in the butt, really, because I've seen the A-frame there for a more reasonable price, but I just cannot get it to work. It's really annoying. that is looking so cool so far. I hope you can sort of see the way there is a bit of a more green granulation and then the very cyan, vibrant phthalo blue. I guess they must have gone for a more green PG-15 instead of a very teal one. But it's really cool. That sucks. Lego bought this site relatively recently. Yeah, I looked up, like I googled it because I was like, what's this issue I'm having? Perhaps someone has an answer. And I think there's quite a few people that have had issues merging their Bricklink account to their Lego account. But I was not able to find an actual solution to my issue. I'll keep looking, but yeah, I mean, it's... Or I will reach out to them or something. You know what? I don't know how long you've enjoyed Legos, Jill. I have a weird like baggage with Legos personally, but there is one thing that I remember from my youth that I wish they brought back, and it's the Paradisa uh, theme. It was all about like resorts and beach, and it quote unquote was sort of the girly sets before they made the whole Friends line, which is just gross. I really don't like the Friends line. I feel kind of insulted that they thought that girls wouldn't love regular Legos, that you had to give them like stuff that was quote unquote cuter for them to, you know, play. It had to be even more girly or it wasn't good enough, and I feel really insulted about that. Anyway, I'm an old woman, so I'm definitely not the clientele for it, but it sort of took like the place of the Perdisa set. And it's annoying because sometimes they have really fun release. Like they did a bunch of sets for the Wednesday TV show, like the Addams Family, but they made it within the Friends line, and it's just so lackluster. Have you logged into your Lego account? I have, when I tried to merge the accounts together. Oh yeah, that was a cool line. I got the stable set when I was... Oh yeah! Yeah. My friends had one of the big sets, like the resort and everything, and I remember being so fascinated with it. Because I was like, it's so cool. It has like a pool. Not that I'm a particularly kind of resorty person, but my situation with Legos is that okay, so for a bit of context, I have a younger brother. He's 6 years younger than me. And I don't know why, but my parents really got in their head that the Legos were for boys. And whenever I would ask for Legos for myself, because I mean, they looked cool, and I wanted to have my own sets so that I wouldn't be stuck having to play with my brother all the time. And also because I was an introvert and a loner, and I just wanted to do my things, you know, on my own and not have to deal with the brother. And yeah, so basically I would ask for my own Lego sets and I would never get them. I don't think they ever got me a Lego set. They would get me clothes instead. Fun. So yeah, it kind of stayed with me and made me bitter about the whole situation. And yeah, so when I would play with Legos, it would usually be when I would go to my friend's place that had her own set of Legos. And she had a lot of the Paradisa ones, and they were so cool. Do you mean Friends? No, not Friends as in the TV show. They have like two lines. They have the main Lego lines that we're all used to, you know, where the characters have, you know, the sort of head that's like the tube and the little legs and whatnot, a bit like the Lego movie. I would say that that's the sort of OG design, but then they made a line that is named Friends, not the series, just Friends. And it's a bit girlified. From the looks of it, they always look like you have less assembly to do, and they made the characters like cuter, quote unquote, like they're more Like the girl characters, they have more of a slight hourglass figure, like very very slight, like nothing, not a Barbie, but compared to a regular minifig Lego that's a for a girl or a lady, that's just the same shape as the other ones, but the print stuff on it. The Friends characters, they're more gendered, really, and it just aggravates me so much. Lego is a lifetime love for me and my husband. We both still have our sets from when we were kids, and like 50% of our shelves are for Legos. The other yeah, okay. It's quite similar here, though. Most of the Lego sets are Star Wars ships that belong to Mr. E. I'm not that big into them, but now I have a few of my own sets, and I'm happy for that. I have a few I have a few sets that were really motivated by the franchise they were based on, but yeah. Friends is a line of girly Legos, and they've done some cool things with that line. The main difference is that the people are differently shaped. Oh, I'm offended already. They're taller and thinner and more people-ish shaped. The theater set is freaking awesome, though. Such a fun build and to play with. Can you somewhat like build a set but ditch the Friends minifig and use regular minifigs with it? Is there some sort of compatibility with it? Okay, so this one is Green Mist. It's cobalt blue again, but this time with a yellow pigment. So that we get green. I'm really offended about the Friends minifigs because I feel like it misses the whole point. Like, what's fun about the Lego minifigs is that you can mix and match them however you want. Like, sure, your Marvel set comes with Scarlet Witch and Hulk and, I don't know, Iron Man. But ultimately, you can swap them body parts around and create your own kind of weird heroes. I'm not entirely sure you can do that with the Friends minifigs. I like the medieval castle themed Legos from many moons ago. Yeah, it's a really cool set. Oh my gosh, the medieval castle one, it's so cool. I never got it, but Mr. E had it, and and we've seen pictures. They've recently re-released it, I think, and it's so cool. It is so cool. It's all the same studs. I just measured, and the Friends character are only about one thin stud taller. So you should be able to. Oh, cool. I think I literally zoned out of the whole last color. Sorry. Was this one? It's a bit more of a subtle difference, but it's definitely there. You can definitely see the greener cobalt color throughout the very bright phthalo blue. It looks a bit more vibrant on my screen than it does in real life. I feel like in real life it's a more natural looking color, but it's really cool. And now this is going to be the first green, and I'm really excited to swatch it because I love greens. The Friends people don't have bottom holes for locking them into place when sitting. That's an oversight. That's such an oversight. Oh my gosh. Thank you for accommodating my zone. Oh, no worries. Anytime. Just let me know. I mean, I'm gonna go through them later on, but if there's any that you want to see again just now, I can work that out. But one thing that I've always loved about Legos, actually two things. My favorite minifig of all, I think, is the glow-in-the-dark ghost. That one, first of all, is glow-in-the-dark, so it already scores points. But then it's just so fun, because you slide like the whole, like, quote-unquote, ghost sheet over the character. So basically any character can be a ghost. And then the other thing that I've always loved so much is that when you have horses, the characters are basically just standing up inside of the horse minifig, which I don't know why, but I think it's hilarious as a concept. It works perfectly fine. I mean, it's number one, good way to, you know, make it all work. And if you need a horse that doesn't have a big hole in its back, you can usually put in a 1x2 in there. So the horse doesn't have like a big gap in its back. But the fact that you just like, the characters are just standing inside the horse always cracked me up, but I don't know why. I mean, it's not funny really, but I think it's just like hysterical. There was a ghost. Yeah, there is. It is the coolest one. The ghost is so cool. You can even have chains with it, I think, that you can attach to like the hands. Have you seen a Newcastle set with the brick built horses? Oh, I didn't notice them. I'll have to look that up because I'm curious. No, but I'm definitely going to look it up, but not now. The ghost is one of my all-time faves too. It is cool, isn't it? It's just such a cool idea and it works so well. And also they made it glow in the dark, which that person should get an award or something. They understood the brief they were given. What are your other favorite like characters or figs, Jill? Like minifigs. Since for minifigures, I think, or minifigurines. The Lego people, basically. This color is better than I thought it would be. I was worried it was gonna be a bit too vibrant in a way, and because of that be a bit harder to use, but it is the perfect level of muted, in my opinion, to be a color you can use as is without having to mute it more. It's just perfect. Really lovely. It's green mist, this one. And you can probably, you know, if you have cobalt blue or a PB28 color and PY3, you can definitely try to do it on your own. We can already see like the separation. I do these like sort of extra carelessly on purpose, like with a lot of water, and the paper kind of buckles a bit and the water pools in one side and I just make a mess just to see exactly what happens. But if I were to paint something with this color, I would probably be a bit more careful or use a a sheet that has been taped down so it stays flat. I'm sort of running out of space. I'll have to put this on the floor over here. All right. This is a pretty color. I like the knights and the entire series of Disney characters. Also the dwarfs, the kids. The half. Yes, yes, I agree. I have a few sets that don't have much rhyme or reason between themselves. I have a few from Lord of the Rings because I had to have Thranduil and Legolas as minifigs. It was I couldn't just skip that. And then I have a few from Marvel because I wanted to have Winter Soldier. And then I have one from the Lego Movie because of Unikitty. And I think that's it. I have a few sets that... Oh, I have a few sets from the Lightyear movie from Disney. So something really cool about that movie is... I thought was really interesting is that when they designed the movie, it's an animated movie, so everything had to be designed. They made it so that like whenever the main dude, the sort of showrunner, quote unquote, was working out the stories and everything, he designed a lot of the ships and robots from Legos. He would put together the Legos to give himself a starting point for his designs. And then I think it's really funny that once the movie came out and all of that, then they made Lego sets from the assets in the movie. Like it went full around. And I think that's kind of really cool. I missed the Lightyear sets, but I adored the movie. Oh, I'm glad. It got a really bad like review, and a lot of people didn't like it, but I really liked it. The only thing that they did that I was not, I'm still not sold on is just how strongly they tried to link it to Toy Story. But it kind of doesn't really mesh well with the Toy Story Buzz Lightyear. So cool. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. The main like guy behind the movie was showing how he had like put together blocks to create the starting point for a robot or a ship. And I was like, oh, that's clever. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. What's this one? PBR7, PP15. Really cool. So it's like a brown iron oxide of some kind with hello blue. At first I thought it was gonna be a bit like Cascade Green from Daniel Smith because it's the same pigment lineup, I think. But it's looking like it's much darker than Cascade Green. I wonder if we'll see a big separation for this one. So far, there's nothing particularly, striking happening, but sometimes it takes a few moments for the colors to really, like, settle and start to separate. Really nice. This one is Taiga Mist. I don't know if I said it. Kind of funny that they named all of these something mist, because it's like it's watercolor. So basically any color that you dilute enough is technically mist. No? And then when you came up with the Metamorphose collection, you had to use Brume. But then when I look at the translated name of these, it says Brume de Taiga. Oh, the number is 761. Taiga, yeah. There's also a line of a WhiteNights colors that are shimmery that I haven't seen anyone really talk about, I think. They're a bit more expensive than their regular paints. And even the Metamorphose ones, like they're twice the price, I think. Might be getting like a couple just to give them a little try. It is starting to separate just a little bit. So far, it has that vibe of, you know, when you look at an evergreen tree. Like the branches are mostly pines, it's not pines, mostly needles, so they're mostly green. But you still get that little feeling of bark and like round needles in there. And I feel like this color kind of represents that well. Really cool. Go put it on the floor with the one. Ugh. I love that. It caught your imagination. I love that. This one is yellowish green mist. Wow. Geez, I wonder what kind of color it's gonna be. Okay, so this one is PB35, so that's usually like a cerulean blue or something. And then PY3. So technically it's a blue that's a little bit softer, less deep than the color we had just before. Not the Taiga one, but the one before that. That was also PY3, so the same yellow. But the other one probably had a cobalt blue, possibly. Well, this one has cerulean blue. Also, it might have more yellow in it than the other color had, which is, you know, a good way to change a color. There's quite a few in here that I have that are not mist colors. I think all of the more neutral ones here. These are not mist something. They're just like more like named after their pigment. Except for this one. This one is gray violet granite. But then I have yellow tuff, spinel gray, augite porphyrit, and chromium iron oxide. And then Aztec gold. I already like it. I feel like I'm not going to love this one. How is that holding for now? I love it. Okay, the challenge is still up to, you know, find a color that I don't like. There are colors that I will use less than others because they're, you know, a bit more difficult or not like fitting for the kind of things that I like to paint, but I haven't found a single color that I didn't like. There's always something. Okay, it's not as green as I thought it would be. Might be okay with it. Yeah, on screen it doesn't look quite right. It's on my screen that I'm sort of keeping an eye on the stream with. It's a lot more like emerald green, whereas in person it's a lot more of a. It's a bit as if you had a color similar to May green, but a bit more muted, less intense, less like a punch in the face neon green. It feels kind of the green of new shoots, or you know, leaves when they start coming out in the spring. I can dislike colors within certain contexts. Like I dislike royal purple on the wall, but it's yeah, exactly. That's where I stand too. Which is why there's no colors that when I look at it, I'm like, oh, ew. Because if it's a color without a context, like it's just a swatch on paper, I'll try to find a context for it in my head. Or if it's in context, I'll be able to separate the color from its usage. Like you say, if a wall is a color that I feel doesn't work, I'll still be able to appreciate the color. Exactly. Like there are colors that I love that I would never wear on myself. Like they just don't work out well with my complexion, with, you know, everything. But it's colors that I love. I don't really have a. I mean, I'm renting a place right now, so I don't really have much of a say in terms of the colors of things. But I feel like if I eventually get my own place, I am kind of the belief that I want every vertical surface to be white, like every wall, everything. It's either white or plain wood, because after you can accent it with anything and everything. And if you get tired of the colors of the accents, I feel like it's a bit more convenient to change than having to repaint the walls. And also, as an artist, you don't necessarily want the light reflecting from the walls to be colored. This color would appeal more to me in springtime. Yeah, but like I said, the one on screen is not quite accurate to me. It's more yellow, like more of a yellow-green in person. Really, really cool granulation though. That's A+. Can't trust a good cobalt. Well, this one is cerulean, but yeah, they definitely know their granulation. I painted my living room dark teal, but most of our rooms are neutrals. I mean, that sounds lovely. It's just like for myself what I would do, because I would worry about getting too annoyed at the colors and then not being able to change it, so it would just keep bothering me. I feel like if I paint everything in a neutral color, then I would get less bogged down in the fact that I want to change something. You know, it's like I get like that with my hair too. I don't really do anything to my hair really because it's curly hair, so no matter what kind of fancy cut you have, it's just not visible because the hair is curly. So I let it just exist on my head. But there's always a point where it reaches this threshold of bothering me. And I just cannot function. And I have to go to the bathroom and cut it off. And I feel like if I had that happen with the colors of my walls, I would just go bonkers. Because you can't easily repaint walls, you know? You have to move all the furniture and put down all the frames, and it would just be so stressful. So I feel like if everything is neutral and light, it makes me feel more relaxed about it. That makes sense. Exactly regarding wall color and artist, I also don't want a wall color that clashes with what I'm painting or that alters. Yeah, exactly. But I do. I'm gonna try this one. Gray Violet Granite. I'm really curious about it. It's just supposed to be PBR7. Okay. Interesting. Over here nodding vigorously about hair. And I totally see your point about walls. So if I was painting my other walls, I would still keep my space. Oh yeah. I mean, that's just... You're doing yourself a disservice as an artist if you paint your studio any kind of color that is too intense. Unless there's a way to like have that wall be an accent wall or be really separated, or I don't know. But you have to kind of keep it neutral, otherwise it's gonna interfere with the painting or the artwork, whatever. Yeah, I mean, hair is something else. I don't think I've gone to a stylist in 15 years. There has never been a time where I came home from the hairstylist and was like in love with the haircut I had gotten, and then after a wash that it still looked like awesome. It looked meh. So I'm like, oh, why bother? So I have a good pair of scissors for hair, and I just cut it myself, and I don't give two craps about it, if you'll pardon my French. The only thing I do is I ask Mr. E, I'm like, oh, is there any bits that appear to be like much longer than the rest? But as they curl up, you don't really see it. If I cut my own hair, everyone would know, and not in a good way. Maybe if you were one of those artists who was super locked into a color scheme, you'd paint your wall a color that... Yeah, I guess, but it's still gonna refract. And it would be like if you had a light for your drawing table that was green. It's gonna be difficult to assess the colors you put on the paper if your light is colored. It's a really nice, soft, muted kind of pinkish color. It's really beautiful. Like a bit like a muted pink, if you will. Melissa! Hey, hello! Hello, hello, welcome! Right, kind of tune your brain to come. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that could be a really fun experiment to like do a piece of art under a specific colored light and then to shut down that light and see what you ended up with under natural light. Like, I think that would be a fun experiment, but to have your studio be permanently set in a way, I don't feel like that would be fun. I'm off early for my birthday today. Ooh, happy birthday, Missy! Hope it's a good one. I hope you got paints for your birthday. I'll be honest, I kind of like this one, I think. I mean, it's gorgeous, isn't it? It's like if Potter's Pink had a an older more muted sister. These are from WhiteNights. I've never seen a PBR7 like this either. This is a first. It's really, really cool. Really, really nice color. I love it. Also, that granulation is on point. To the floor with the other one. All right, next. This one would be very fun to mix with other colors. Yeah, to get a granule. I agree. I wonder, like, what if you mix it with something that is insanely vibrant? I got myself a tube of Daniel Smith Quinn Violet. Ooh, that's a lovely gift. Which pigment is that one? Is that PV55 or is it a PV19 color? They have so many quinacridones that it's a bit hard to remember which is which. Let's try yellow tuff now. I don't know what tuff is. It's TUFF. And in French, it's tuff. Tuff jaune. TUF in French. I have no idea what it means. It is... oh, this one is a mix of two colors. Okay. So it is PBK8. A black pigment and then a yellow PY43. Oh, it's a PV19. Okay, cool. Lovely. There's so many. Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. Mmm. Forbidden caramel. I think it's something to do with soil, but I'm on it. I mean, that would track, wouldn't it? Try to wet that layer of paper so I can peel it off. Just gonna wait a bit. Time to find a toothpick. Almost made a big old mess and sent all of these flying. Would have been lovely. There's one thing that I've sort of quote unquote lost. Oh no, wait. It's my roll of paper towels. The one that do the fart sound. Britannica says tuff, a relatively soft, porous rock that is usually formed by the compaction and cementation of volcanic ash or dust. Oh, that's cool. Oh. Hmm. That's most of the paper. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, what are you going to paint with your Quinn Violet, Melissa? I feel like it would be fun to take inspiration from the way Lana does the swatch pages, like the spreads. To have like the colors info, a little monochromatic painting, and then mixes with the regular colors from your palette. It's a really nice earthy yellow. The Queen Violet, Melissa? I really like it. I love how it's not I want to say how it's not fancy. Like Holbein has some really interesting granulating colors that have like the neon pink and the yellow, and these are really cool. And I feel like this one is just quite literally down to earth. And the black and the yellow, I mean, sure you see the black separation, but it's not overwhelming. It stays quite uh, like a unified color combo in a way. Three colors can be a full answer as well. I feel like all colors. Is there a color that would absolutely not be a fit for a specific season? I feel like there's always something, right? If you paint only scenery, then it's a different story. But the moment you paint anything that has been man-made, you're gonna stumble upon those colors that you would associate more with the other seasons, maybe. It's a really cool color. I really like it. Didn't know quite what to expect, but I think it's really nice. This one is giving more pumped up goethite. Oh yeah, absolutely. You're right. I'll have to compare with goethite swatches. Oh, that's a good call. Check this out. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it's there's similitudes, right? Still has to dry, but they're really quite alike in a lot of aspects. Good spot. Good call. Okay, 3, 4 left. Let's go with this one. This is PR 102. Okay, I'll take it. going to be really interesting to compare this one to the granite one from earlier. The other one was a PBR7, this one is a PR102. It's quite reminiscent of this color when I molded myself, like this really muted purple-red granulating color. Kind of a bit like a very, very, very muted Venetian red or something. I find these to be quite fascinating. Like they have this really interesting range of texture, but they stay the same color throughout, even if you put it really dark mass tone, and then when you dilute it a lot, it's still the same color. Like, you know how some pigments at mass tone they will be more orange, and then when you dilute it, they get more pink. But the colors that stay the same throughout, even with texture, even with dilution, there's really something fascinating about those. I think it's the stability element. I feel like Sennelier's Caput Mortem is a really good example of that. But yeah, this is a bit like what happened if you mixed Caput Mortem and Potter's Pink together, this one. I love it. It would be really interesting to put together a palette of all really muted, natural, quote-unquote, colors. Now that WhiteNights has released quite a few really interesting ones to put in the red/pink section of a palette. Because that's usually the issue, right? You have a lot of the muted deep reds with Venetian red, Mars red, Indian red, all of that. English red. And then you have some more orange or yellows with, depending, some of the burnt siennas, some of the yellows, and then even more yellow with ochres. And then you have all the browns, and the colors that are perhaps a bit difficult to figure out are blue often. Or green, you have green earth, and things like chromium oxide green, possibly cobalts. Yeah, to keep it really earthy, it's a bit more difficult. Vivianite is a really beautiful, deep muted blue. Yeah, I think it would make for a really fun palette to combine some of these colors with colors from Roman Schmal and have like this very earthy palette. Very muted, very textured. Okay. Chromium iron oxide. This is PBR29. I love this idea. I'm glad. I think it would be fun, right? A long, long time ago in a galaxy far away. Okay, no. Sorry. Yeah, quite some time ago I had gotten the Kremer Earth palette. And while I really like the hues that were in it, I don't really like the Kramer paints, like the ready-made paints, because they're a bit weird. They're not the kind of behavior I like in my paints. Like they can be really hard to re-wet, but then the paint will rub off the paper, and it's just not my jam. But their earth color palette was interesting for that. The way it had like all these muted earthy granulating colors, including Vivianite. But now that Rummage has a lovely Vivianite and some absolutely gorgeous Lapis Lazuli, I feel like the blue in the earthy palette, or the earth palette actually, like they wouldn't be too lackluster. It was an awesome mashup. Can use the paint trucks. Wait, what mashup? Oh no, I forgot. Oh, what is the issue with streaming? It makes for a terrible short-term memory stuff. It's very difficult to keep track of what I said 5 minutes ago. This is beautiful. I love it. Like it's a almost like a black color, but it's more like a really, really dark muted brown, which makes it even better in my opinion. I think this might have been the color of Chromium Black from Winsor Newton when they had the release with the jewel colors, I think. And I remember stocking up on that one because I really liked it as a black that's not black, really. I'm glad that now it's sort of cropping up in more and more professional ranges, which means it's readily available, which is what we like. Because hoarding and all is fun, but then your significant other looks at you askance and eyes your big hoard of paints, and you have to very quickly think of a reason to use all of these. Oh, oh no, it's a Will Yankovic song. That's why. Long, long time ago in a galaxy far away. That's his the parody song he made for the that Star Wars movie from millennia ago. Yeah, that's such a nice color. Look at the gray here. Like you were mentioning colors to paint rocks. You don't need anything else really. Like you paint one layer of that and pff, rock. The texture does all the work. The hue is spot on. It has this little feeling of, when diluted, like, is it just plain gray or is there a hint of pink in there? You know? Really, really nice. Oh, but okay, the last of the quote-unquote regular colors is spinel gray. PBK 28. Or maybe you already knew it was a mashup and that's why you mentioned it. Sorry. I mean, you would have to know, because there's no way anything I sing can be recognized by anyone. All my very few art skill points went into visual art and not music and not acting. Are we ready for this? Ooh. That's so fun. The way it be nice. This one is a really beautiful sort of really dark anthracite, kind of gray with really nice granulation. I don't know what I know today. Did we all say ooh at once? I mean, I feel like I say that for at least half of the paints, but probably. I feel like paint zooming on paper is one of those universal ooh moment. Oh, I really like it. That's such a cool color. It's this, you know, it's like that really dark graphite gray kind of color, but without the shininess of or not shiny, it's the shimmer of graphite. Genuine graphite paint is a bit shimmery, you know. But this one is as far as I can tell, not shimmery. That's such a cool color. I'm gonna do it right away before I forget, but I need to switch to my shimmer paint brushes for. I don't use my regular brushes for sparkly paints. I have a dedicated set of brushes because I don't want to, you know, have to wash a brush forever. Ah, sorry. Okay, the last one. And then I'm gonna try to go through all of them. Some are mostly dry, some definitely won't be dry. I'll try to remember to eventually get photos or scans of these and post them. Like members only and on Patreon. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, wait. There's never really any kind of pigment info for shimmer paints. Because it's mica, but it's still good to know what the color is, right? the metallic paints also like zoom in the water. It's really cool. I haven't like played with the paint at an angle to see the sheen or the shimmer actually, but I really quite like the kind of brown that it looks like. That makes sense. It's really hard to see the shimmery aspect of a paint when it's still wet. That's lovely. And I was interested in getting this one after testing out the Aquafine one that I got in the tube and mixing it with other paints, and I was like, oh, this is actually really fun. But when I saw this one, I was like, you know what? Really beautiful, warm, like orange brown color, but shimmery, like gold shimmery. It's really hard to see, but it looks lovely. I'm excited to see it dry so that I can have a really good look at the mica. Like mixing this with one of the granulating dark gray, like that would be really cool, right? Is this, yeah, it's a fairly red gold, I would say. Yeah, it's really yeah, it's really reddish, like orange red muted gold. I don't think it's really granulating per se. I think that's the paper I use that's quite textured, so that probably helped with all the other colors as well. But this is just fascinating. Is there a way that I can sort of do a mixed test? I wanna try. Spinel gray. Okay. For the ceramic dish, I have 2 water balls. So I'm gonna use the untouched water one to get some of the dark gray. First. Rinse this. And then again with the gold. Oh, it's spreading in the other one. It won't look like much until it's dry, but it'll be really fun to see it when it's dry. Okay. And now to finish this stream, I'm gonna go through the colors from earlier. It's 1, 2. I'm waiting to see what's visible on the screen. Wait, I can see here. I'm a dummy. Hold on. Move the camera just a little bit. I think that's kind of good. Okay. Sorry about that, but we can see 4 of them now. It's really funky. My preview of what's within frame of the camera, it's not the same on my phone than the footage that gets to my computer. I mean, kind of irrelevant for you guys, but it's kind of makes things a bit complex for me. Oh, okay, top right might be my fave. This one? I will definitely try to get good photos of these to share somewhere so that we can get a good feel for the colors. But yeah, so this one here, this is the one top left is Grey Rose Mist. Then top right is Hematite Mist. Bottom left is Sunset Mist. Bottom right is Violet Mist. I also like bottom right a lot, but it looks similar things are. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, so okay, they're not dry at all, but I have 3 greens and I can only fit 4 swatches, and it would bother me to have a green in like separated from the other greens because we want to be able to look at all the greens at the same time, right? Okay, so here top left is Turquoise Rose Mist. Top right is Sea Mist. Bottom left is our Spinel Gray. And then bottom right is Chromium Iron Oxide. So the iron oxide one is a little bit more red. This one is a bit more like gray. Like actually gray. And then these are completely different, so. So for this one, I'm guessing that for the PB28, they went with a cobalt teal kind of color. And then with the red. And for this one, the PG50 is a cobalt green rather than a cobalt teal kind of color. All right. So here, top left is yellow-green mist, or yellowish green mist, I think it was. On the right is regular green mist, I guess. Sorry. So this one uses more of a cerulean blue in the mix, a PB35, and this one here is probably more of a cobalt blue color in the mix. So that's why they're still quite different, and probably more yellow in this one than. And then the bottom is Taiga Mist, which is a mix of a brown and phthalo blue. You can't really tell there's any phthalo blue in here, can you? Like the sort of undertone is definitely green, but then you have this sort of brown too in the color. That would be the PBR7. Right. Right. And now these. This is the Gray Violet Granite, the PBR7. This is the Augite Porphyroid, however you say that, the PR102. So you can kind of see the difference. I'm trying to think if I have a Potter's Pink swatch handy. I mean, yeah, I think that's it. So never mind all the other swatches on this, but you see the pink. This one here and the top one there, they're both different Potter's Pink. Kind of get a feel. Even on frame. A very good question. So this one here is one Potter's Pink. I think that's my handmade one, possibly, sorry. And then the top one color here, the pink one, is another Potter's Pink. And then at the bottom here we have the yellow tuff. You can definitely see the black pigment in the granulation. And then this one is the Aztec Gold. Maybe you'll be able to see the way the shimmer settled. But it's really cool. Yeah. That's the 15 colors. The top right ended up somewhat Cascade Green-esque. But is it the one that looked that way when wet? This one here? It's not quite Cascade Green because of Cascade Green. You have kind of the blue and the green granulation, Right. Perhaps it looks like it. I would have to compare swatches. I don't really have any Daniel Smith paints, so it's not very recent in my mind what colors look like, but it would be a fun comparison to make for sure. Alright, so I think that's going to be it for today. Apologies again for starting a bit late. I'll probably go back right into that rabbit hole straight up. But yeah, there should be a stream this Saturday if everything goes well and nothing weird. Which one is the one you said guess green about today? No. Which one was it? It was this one, I think. Because if I remember right, it's the same pigment lineup than Cascade Green. I'm not entirely sure because it's been a while, but from what I remember, I think Cascade Green is a PBR7 and then a PB Phthalo Blue mix. But it's definitely different pigments than the ones used in this mix because this color doesn't look like Cascade Green at all, in my opinion anyway. But yeah, I'll see. I might have a little pan of Cascade Green again somewhere, and I'll see if I can find it and do some reference swatches. Or I could also take out my big chart of Daniel Smith colors. But yeah, for now, I'll go back to work again. So again, thank you so much for being here. Maybe we'll see you guys on Saturday for the Saturday stream. But if not, the plan is to have another members only next Thursday. And until then, I hope you have a great time. Melissa, if you're still around, happy birthday again. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and a great night. And see y'all soon. Bye bye.